Hey, hey.
Hello.
Yep.
So I still get a kick out of that intro when it goes to the two beans just sitting there with our hairs on it,
Right.
hair on it.
I know. I got my hair cut even.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I just enjoy that so much. I get a kick out of it.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Anyways, welcome everyone to another Between Two Beans show. We got some good stuff planned for tonight. It is I believe our 14th. That's
Yep.
what I put 14th
Yep.
show. So that's cool. How are you doing, Kevin?
I'm all right. Keeping busy. The weather's getting nicer, so my energy's popping back up a little bit. And yeah, just making progress on things around the house, trying to transition into springtime.
Nice.
Trying to hide out from that spring cleaning part, though. Keep my head down.
Yeah, I hear you. This weekend, we did a lot of stuff around the house, but I also started doing some of the outside work. And man, I wish I didn't do that. I wish I was hiding.
Right.
Like you.
See, I thought my part of the spring cleaning was to say, Alexa, run RoboVac. I thought that was my version of spring cleaning.
Yeah.
I thought I did my effort, but I guess not. So
nice.
Yeah, we'll get there. But
yeah.
I have a secret. I found a secret article. And it is really spilling the beans, I guess, if you want to make money from your Alexa skills.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so we got to bring this to light. We have to get the word out on this one. So I actually found this skill.
Send it to the chat.
Cool. So yeah, we'll get it out onto the interwebs there, and everybody can make their money now. But I actually found this article a little bit earlier in the week and thought it would be a really good conversation point. But it starts off with a little bit of a description of Jeff Bolton, who is the founder of Voice Apps. And I wasn't familiar with Voice Apps, the brand or the company, but looking at some of the skills that they have out there, I think I've come across them before. And so it says, the guy thought it was really interesting for his intro that he has in his article. When he was 15 years old, he built online bulletin boards to communicate. And that's where his kind of voice and communication back and forth experiences started. So that was pretty neat. But he goes into talking about how he kind of made money with his skills. And his first one was a guard dog skill, because he asked his wife, he's like, hey, wife, what should I make? What should I create using, my voice and Alexa? And she's like, well, it'd be nice if there was a theft deterrent. Dogs and little yippy dogs seem to dissuade thieves, I guess, better than big, deep sounding dogs. So,
oh really?
But I guess, I don't know. Fortunately, I've never had to try it, but yeah. So
I missed that part of the article.
it was. I guess his wife said that she was reading an article about house safety and how to burglar proof your home and all this, and came across that a thief actually said that a small dog was a better deterrent than a big dog because of the noise that they make. So kind of neat.
I know that guard from Ring does include this with your instruction or your
subscription.
Yeah.
I saw that.
So I wonder if they worked with this guard dog skill, or if they just decided, do their own thing.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's how he got into it and everything. And then he kind of says, how do I make money off of these skills that I'm building? How do I get paid for the time and the work that I put into it?
Mm-hmm.
And so he says that there's 5 must-haves for developers to make money on the Alexa platform. And he says that the first is to build a product and before I get into these, I'm going to say they're almost common sense, but at the same time, they really require some thought. So the first one is to build a product that addresses a real need.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense, right? That's kind of what we've been saying, or I've been rambling about for the past, quarter of a year, is I'm really not interested in paying for your goofy skill. You know what I mean? It really has to solve a need for me, whether that's entertainment or making my life easier in some way, or just being something that I'm going to use often enough that I feel like it's something I want to pay for. Okay.
Right.
So building a product that addresses a real need, that's kind of like everything. You don't want to just build well, I mean, you can build something just to build it and proof of concept or whatever.
Right.
But I mean, if nobody, I can't even think of an example, but there's that phrase out there that necessity is the mother of invention. So what is that need that's out there that you can fill or create a solution for? And so if there's enough people that have that same need, they're going to flock to your skill and potentially be willing to pay for that skill. Makes sense so far. So I like what he's saying. And his last point in there was also consider the pain points of your users. So I think he's talking about things like accessibility and potential headaches that they might run into using your skill. If it's a weather skill, and you're pulling weather, your default weather comes from, Timbuktu somewhere, it's not useful. So just being aware of that. Then he starts getting down into it a little bit more, and I don't want to spend too much time, but I find this is important, is understand how to implement your in-skill purchases. So for a game, we've talked about this in the past. For a game, there could be power-ups. That would be an in-skill purchase, a one-time use type of thing. Ad removal, that can be an in-skill purchase as well. You can look at things like subscriptions, or even in-skill purchases could be a one-off as far as like a chapter in an audiobook type of thing. So potential there, but it's all about implementing it in a way that isn't too money grabby, if that's an official technical term. Something that doesn't just make you want to pay for it just for the sake of paying for it. If I have a game and I can only play one a day, and then I have to pay more tokens or whatever it would be, energy, that type of thing, to keep playing more, potentially I would, based on if I like the game and how I perceive things. So it's very, like I said, it's almost common sense, but yet there's nitty gritty nuances to it to be aware of. So that's kind of his second point. His third point was explore subscription-based models. And so this is very divisive. From what I've experienced out in the field, there are people who absolutely love subscriptions, and there are people that would rather just pay a one-time fee for everything. And we've talked about this in the past as well, in that 15, 20 years ago, maybe. I say 15, 20 years, but that's kind of where we're at this point. Is it used to be, let's use Microsoft Word, for example. I pay a flat rate, and I have Microsoft Word. I have it's there. I can use it as long as I want, whatever. Now it's more of a subscription based thing. You pay an annual fee or a monthly fee to utilize that software. So there are pros and cons to both. And I think that based on your skill and what you're expecting of your users, this can be a really good option. So potentially. Then it gets into design consumables, and consumables are considered content or features that a user can choose to purchase, deplete, and then purchase again, which again kind of includes that in-game currency, extra lives types of thing, which kind of flows into your in-skill well, it is an in-skill purchase, obviously, but it's almost like a subscription in a way too. There's a lot of overlap between his points. So I stopped rambling so much. His last point is support one-time purchases. And again, this is that other side of the fence. There are people out here who they'll gladly pay $15 for unlimited access for as long as they want.
Right.
Is that better or worse than $1 or $2 here or there occasionally? I don't know. I guess it all depends on your skill. But I think keeping each one of these points in mind and using them individually for your specific skill could really add up and maybe crack the code of making a little bit of money off of your Alexa skill. So it's worth reading the article here. It doesn't ramble as much as I did, of course, but
you can definitely finish it within the same amount of time we spent talking.
Oh yeah. I wanted to try and give some real world examples to these points.
Sure.
The weather skill or a game or an audio book, but definitely worth a read and definitely worth checking out.
For me, on Cards of Wonder, I only have consumables and subscription. I do not have one-time purchases. But consumables is to get more plays, pretty much.
Right.
A daily plays. Or you can get a subscription and get more daily plays. I think I'm pretty sure I implemented that.
And you can do a combination of all three. So let's take your power fighter's skill, right? So you could do a one-time purchase of an additional character. You could do an in-skill purchase.
Which I do have.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could do that in-skill purchase of additional battles. And then you could do a subscription piece that would give you so many tokens a day or so many energies a day to fight
or unlock all the content.
Exactly. So a combination of that.
Revisit that.
You might, see, it's coming together. But yeah, a combination of those things. Not to be again greedy or anything, but you appeal to each flavor, so to speak, so that one user who's more into the subscription side versus one user who just wants that flat fee. You're kind of getting the best of both worlds that way, splitting that difference. So,
and that's kind of what my thought process on Space Marauders is, not to just all about my skills, but these are just examples that we're talking about. I actually I'm implementing all types of skill purchases. So I have the subscription, which gives you access to beyond level 10. You can have that. Plus you get extra monies and extra healing stuff.
Right.
Then there's the one-time purchases, which I have crates available where you could buy golden or platinum crates, which gives you a better percentage to get better or more rare or uncommon weapons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I have the also a one-time purchase of unlock the level 10 cap.
Okay.
So you can do it that way instead of the subscription.
Mm-hmm.
So like you were saying, that people can do either or. I
Right.
did make that a little bit more because I was a little greedy. So I was smiling when you were saying that.
Yep.
But also, I mean, if you look at it this way, if you are a subscriber for like 3 or 4 months, it's pretty much the same thing if you were just to buy it outright.
Yeah.
But you get more stuff with the subscription that you wouldn't get with the buying it outright.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So it's an incentive. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Cool. We'll definitely have to talk more about Space Marauders here in a little bit. But instead of going to the future, do you want to go to Middle Earth?
I do. I need to restart my browser. I think I've done this before and it hasn't affected anything. So just bear with me for a minute or seconds.
No worries. All good. So I don't know anything. If anybody's watched the show before, we are jumping into our Bean-boozeled. And so I'm not too familiar with Lord of the Rings like I should be. Like I've seen the movies, I read the book a really long time ago. I think I even did a book report on it. But yeah, we'll see how this one goes. I know some things. I'm not super deep. I know you can really get down nitty gritty into some of the lore and locations and people and places and whatever. So we'll see if I can pull out a win on this one. No promises today. Looks like Will is getting it fired up. Should be good there. And let's see here. The skill that we're going to do is called the Lord of the Rings trivia game, and it's by Michael Hargis. And it had 109 reviews, and it got 4 out of 5 on those. But it was kind of weird because I looked, and the most recent review was from December 30th. That's the most recent one that I had found. So kind of interesting. It looks to be a little bit older, but not a lot has changed with Lord of the Rings. So we'll see how it goes. If you're speaking, Will, I can't hear you. But we have the Lord of the Rings trivia. So I know we need to try Star Trek, get some Star Wars out there again, those types of things. If anybody has suggestions for trivia, doesn't take much to stump us, but we're more than willing to give them a shot. So I don't know. I'm looking at a couple other related skills in the trivia category as well. We've done all kinds so far. We've done weather. We've done video games, comic book characters. I think we've done some movie stuff. Pretty neat. What else do we have here as far as trivia? Knowledge and trivia. So if I jump into that, I have a Dr. Seuss quiz. Okay. I don't know. This is kind of weird. When I search for trivia skills, I see things like inspire me and just odd things that don't really, like here's a vintage phone ring. Doesn't seem like it's. I see white noise. I really wish they would do a lot better at curating some of this. If an image doesn't really match, or I don't know. I know it's tough to come up with logos that have to fit inside a small bubble, but it's interesting that there are just so many things under trivia that are not trivia at all. I don't know. Let's see what else, what other things I can find. Will has the power, and I can't share my screen at the moment, but I'm going to click through lifestyle skills. We have cricket sounds, puppy diary.
Can you hear me?
Hey, there he is. How you doing, Will? I can hear you now.
Cool. Hopefully my sharing screen will work this time.
Sure.
Gosh.
I was just explaining that I was looking through all the trivia skills that are on the Amazon Alexa store, and I really wish they'd do a little bit better about curating it, and not because some skills just aren't good, but I find things like white noise machines in the trivia section, or I find things like dog sounds. Not, what bark goes with what dog, but just random barking sounds. So I just think there's room for improvement, and I've spoken about that ad nauseum at this point.
I am having trouble sharing my screen and the audio.
Okay. No big deal.
I don't know why.
That's all right. Technical difficulties are always just part of the game. So, I can, let's see what I can do on my side. I could enable it and then just put my show device on my desk, and you can hear the audio if you'd like.
I'm pretty sure we tried this before, and there's no audio, but tell me if there is.
Sure.
Can you hear ticking?
I don't know.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Okay.
Dang it.
No big deal. I'll just brush up on my Lord of the Rings. I'll just marathon the extended editions, and I'll speed read all the books, all the stuff. We'll revisit it next week. I'll be telling the trivia what's what. So.
Yeah, sorry about that, everyone. But yeah, technical difficulties. That my browser didn't want to open up, or the streaming software didn't want to open up another screen and share the audio.
Yeah, no worries. So we can jump. We can switch gears and jump into our Beaningful conversation. If you want to fire up those links, and we can kind of break some of this down. There's quite a bit to unpack here. This was actually an article that you had found, and it was in the Amazon Alexa Slack channel. So if you're not part of that, definitely be aware that there's a really good community inside that app that you can get questions answered. You can bounce ideas off everyone. Really knowledgeable people that have been in this game for a long time, and newer members. So I definitely recommend, if you have a chance, jump into that.
It grows daily almost.
Mm-hmm.
So do you know much about serverless at all? The serverless framework at all?
So enough to be dangerous. That's pretty much what it is for me. I understand the concept of it.
Okay.
I haven't. No, I've done some Java stuff, but I don't think this is the same thing when you start getting into like Lambda function URLs.
Yep.
There's some
Okay,
difference
so
there.
the leaderboards is all based on these.
For Space Marauder?
And for my leaderboards in general, it's going to be for all my games. But yes, right now it's only on Space Marauders. But so the thing is with serverless framework, it functions well. At first, there's many different ways you can utilize serverless framework, but the way I'm using it is the APIs, and the API you can set up a function all in JavaScript, but there's also other languages. I think Python, maybe Java is one of them. But yeah, so you can do tons of different languages, but I'm using JavaScript because that's well what I know. And you just create a function. Let's say you want to automate something, or you want to make it a little bit take a chunk of code out of a game and have it in this function that you call this URL, and it'll fire that function. So that's what it's for, to take a chunk here, chunk there, or just like I did, and create a whole like a specific function,
Right.
in the broad term, a function that I wanted to do as in a leaderboard. But there is, in the leaderboard, there is probably 8 or 9 different lambdas functions that are being utilized within this leaderboards thing. I know that's not very technical.
So correct me if I'm wrong in thinking about it this way, is you have not a ton, but you have a bunch of code, right? And you're throwing it all into this one function, right? And then you just have this one handler that goes out and then comes back with all the information based off of that previous set of code, correct? Or am I thinking about this a little different?
So each handler is a function.
Okay.
And its own Lambda function. That's what they're called, Lambda functions. So when I want to get that information that from that function, I will call it through the API. Now, with this article, they're going in detail with the new thing. It's called Lambda URLs, which you can also utilize from day one, I guess, with serverless. Excuse me. And think of serverless as another library, a way of doing things. And this thing is to write to lambdas, and also or make Lambda functions, and then also it buttons up all the databases, the cloud formation, all the things. It buttons up everything under serverless framework.
Okay, so it's kind of like a one-stop shop.
Yes.
Okay.
But Lambda URLs is just for the Lambda. So if you just want to talk straight to the function, and you're not going to also talk to the database or something else, you just want to run this code that's on this function and get back something else. remember my Cards of Wonder game that I had in Discord, or also on my Twitch stream,
Right.
a long time ago. So I could essentially have all that, because I had the data and all the code, everything pretty much in one document.
Okay.
So I could call that function and I could then get back something from that, because I didn't have to go to a database. I didn't have to go to these other things that AWS has.
Right.
S3, there's another one. I didn't have to go to S3. I just had to go to the function, and I'll get something back from the function.
Okay.
So that's what these URLs are ideal for, and are pretty amazing that we can do that now. So I'm trying to think of like a something. Let's say, I'm trying to think of another idea or example.
Yeah. So kind of like, let's think about it this way: some pros and cons. So, so I'm trying to think. So pros would be it's quicker, correct? Like
yes,
you would have
quicker, very much quicker. Not much quicker, but it is quicker
over time. Yeah,
and actually, this article breaks it down. So the function URL is 9 to 10 milliseconds, 9 to 10 milliseconds response time. The API gateway is 12 to 15 milliseconds, so not too much, but it is faster. Some other positives. Let's see. The timeout.
Yes, I was going to mention this part. Yep. The 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Which is
wow. That's impressive.
I don't know what you need to do within 15 minutes. I mean, it has to be a massive function to, do that.
Have you heard me ramble? It has to take all that info that I ramble about. If I ramble talking, you should see my code,
Nice. So that's another good positive. I'm on the wrong. Where are we at? Yep. So here's some actual lingo use cases. APIs built with backend frameworks like Express, Apollo, or Flask.
Okay. I think Flask is Python, if I remember right. I'm pretty sure.
You're correct.
Python.
Simple webhooks where the API gateway could be overkill, kind of like what I was demonstrating, except I probably should have an API gateway for what I was demonstrating. Server-side rendered websites built with CloudFront plus Lambda, skipping the API gateway. APIs with response time longer than 29 seconds.
Gotcha.
So those would be ideal for these Lambdas.
Right. So I also looked at the documentation that's out there for this, and it's very nice. It's very organized and very clean. There's a few tutorials out there and examples, so you can kind of.
Are you talking about serverless in general,
or serverless examples?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I love their documentation. It is amazing. I did take a course on it through Udemy, I believe. But yeah, they have really good documentation, like you said, and some good small little videos on different things. So
Mhm.
yeah,
So
I'm a fan.
good. Do you see this growing then? Do you see more developers jumping in and taking advantage of this technology?
Well,
Or do you
as
feel
soon
like
as
it's
I started doing it,
Mhm.
it just opened my eyes and brain and to thinking, what could I use this for? What could so many
Right.
things. The marketplace for Cards of Wonder is run on one of these functions.
Okay.
It's ran every 10 minutes or something like that. But it has to be through the API gateway because I have the database, I have the events triggered,
Right. Right.
which I don't think you can do with just API URLs. So, and that event trigger is really impressive and awesome. Um,
Hmm.
I know impressive and awesome are pretty much the same thing, but it just shows how cool it is
Yeah.
to give it another synonym as cool.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I mean, to be able to just reach out and I don't know, I want to say pluck out information a different way, um, that's potentially more efficient. Um, you're not running into snags and headaches. I mean, it's just one simple webhook to pull what you need. I mean, the advantages are definitely there. I'm curious to see how. I know there were a few responses to when the article was posted in Slack. I know there were a few responses to it that people were saying, "Yeah, okay, I'm going to take a look at this." So it'll be interesting to see how people utilize it and take advantage of this kind of technology.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's a look at if you really are into coding and creating applications, it's definitely something you should have in your tool belt.
Yeah.
Just
So,
my opinion.
in your experience, then, would you do you think it would be worth it to go back and improve existing skills
Oh yeah,
and bring them forward like this? Do you think it's worth the
yeah, for
time
sure.
to dig into it? Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, even with API gateway, uh, it is I think $1 for a million uh um
Requests. Yeah.
requests.
A response. Yeah.
So that is super cheap. And if you have a million requests, I think you can pay $1.
I think you're doing okay at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
So unless you are refreshing every function you have on an event for every second,
Yeah.
then
That's, ooh,
then
ooh. Then
I
I think
don't
you need to
think
look at
it's
your code a little bit. Yeah.
yeah.
We need to
Hmm.
reevaluate something else on that point.
Yeah, you might want to just rethink things. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. Well, that's cool. It gives me some food for thought. Um, I moving forward, this is definitely going to be something I'm going to have to consider. Something as simple as a leaderboard, like you were saying, you can just easily implement. But I'm trying to
No,
think.
okay. Hey,
Well, yeah, easily was probably the wrong term.
building a leaderboard
Yeah.
is not easy. Okay. I don't even want to go into the details. How much brain headaches.
Yeah, that's true. I may have misspoken on that one. I mean, I think it's going to be easy for me because I'm just going to come to you. That's all.
Right. Yeah. Now doing my marketplace thing,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was pretty easy. I think I built that in like 2-3 hours.
Mm.
So that was a pretty simple function. But my math wasn't the greatest. So yeah, I had to reiterate that function a few times, but that's my own fault.
I understand.
But yeah, so
Well, cool. So since we've had our technical difficulty here, not a big deal. How about we kind of shamelessly plug your Space Marauders game? It
Oh, okay.
recently hit beta, didn't it?
It
And
did hit
I say
beta.
that like I don't know, but I've been playing the beta. So, you know,
Yes, please,
yeah,
please. We need more beta testers, everyone. Please message me, PM me, at me on Twitter, which is WRONGHOLT. It is a space-themed game where you collect different weapons over 100, 150, over 150, because I think it's 160.
Hmm.
Oh, thank you, Oxygen Box. Appreciate that.
Hey,
The
Oxygen Box.
visuals are impressive. Thank you. So and then you fight these bounties. They're not all monsters. Some are monsters. Some are like people,
Right.
people, humanoids.
Yeah. I've fought space pirates today. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I've fought some pirates.
You know, that the space pirates came from a show, an old anime.
Okay.
But I can't remember what that was. But anyways, yeah, you fight these bounties, you collect money, you collect experience, you level up your character.
Mhm.
And when you level up your character, each time you get a new piece of equipment, that equipment also levels up with you.
Mhm. Right.
But not your equipment doesn't level up with you, just your new equipment. So
Well, you skipped
what am
over.
I?
What's that?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
you skipped over one of my favorite things is the factions. So there are
Oh yes,
how many factions are there?
there
Five?
five.
Five. I
Five.
thought there were five. Yeah.
I think I misquoted that some other time. I said four, but yeah,
Okay.
there is five. So they are United Stars,
Mhm.
Anarchists, the
Cyberlights
Anarchists,
was one.
Cyberlights. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yep.
Pioneers
Right.
and Animal Clan.
Yes. Perfect.
Um,
And
yeah,
each one comes with their own little, you know, advantages, basically, to
yeah.
that you discover throughout gameplay. I mean, there's some, the one is better at bounties, correct? You get more.
Yeah, so one of them you get more bounties bounty amounts bounty amount
Rewards, bounty rewards.
rewards, whatever. uh oh,
Oh, I like the fashions too. I mean,
uh
there. Don't for. I'm jumping. I'm still in your thunder here, but avatar packs, right?
oh
Those
yeah,
become
for sure.
recommended. So I mean, I'm gonna be like having the nicest avatar. I'm gonna be styling. Mine's gonna wear a tie. So, yeah,
I think I don't think I have a guy with a tie, but there might be. I really don't know. There's 50 of
there
them.
will be, is what you meant to say.
There will be. Okay. So there is oh sorry. So one of them has better bounties. One of them has better experience. One of
Mhm.
them you can hack, uh, which I don't know if you've gotten
Yeah,
to level 3 yet.
I have, and it is a fun little mini game. I had a word that was the theme was outside or weather, I think is what it was, one of the two. And it was a fun little mini game I wasn't expecting. But like
Cool.
like the narrator says, hack at your own risk. So
Yes, because you
found out
can
a
lose
hard
money
way.
or gain money.
Yeah.
Uh, and it is a random amount of percentage of your money, but I don't think I think it's 50% or less.
Okay.
So up to 50%. of your money could disappear. But yeah, that's pretty fun. So Cyberlights, that's their perk, is you can hack earlier.
Mhm.
Then Animal Clan, which I still haven't implemented yet, but they will have a boost on their a charge up. So, and I think it's like twice or once a day you can use this charge up, and pretty much it just boosts your ability to hit.
Okay.
So that, and then there's one more. I think it's the Pioneers that I don't remember what theirs is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure.
But yeah, each faction has their own special special thing.
Yeah.
And then they have a actual special ability, which you might not know because I haven't programmed it very well to really show that each faction has their own special ability.
Okay.
That gets ran in the back end, and you won't know if it gets activated unless it says that it's activated, which it hasn't.
Are you saying there's
But
a
it's
bug?
going to say, hey, you just activated special ability Samurai, and or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. So,
Yeah.
so you're saying there might be a bug or two in beta?
Yeah, there's a bug or two
Okay.
in beta.
Okay. So we need beta testers, is what
We
what
do,
getting at.
to get all these nasty bugs out of there, and so I can have a fresh pair of eyes, non-biased eyes on it, because I'm very biased of my own stuff.
Yeah.
And today I was just I got 50% of the leaderboards the visuals of the leaderboards redone.
Oh, okay.
So right now, if you say leaderboards,
Oh, I'm gonna cut you off real quick. I did, because I noticed I was in first place.
yeah, with somehow 2 trillion
There's
2 trillion points.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I play a lot.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was surprised. So I'll give my experience here real quick, is
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
so I fired it up, and I've been following this journey for, oh man, what did we say it was? Over a year?
August,
Yeah.
June.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's going on a year. But so Oxygen Box real quick says, I have to figure out a strategy to test and record issues. Okay. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. For beta testing, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can type it out, email it to me, or if you want to screen capture, or you can't screen capture, you can record it, I guess, with your phone and then send that to me if you see that. Whatever.
See, I'm fortunate. I just call Will at 3 a.m. and I'm like, "Hey, Will, guess what I found?" And then he never answers. But but yeah, I've been following the journey for a while, and so I fired it up, and I had expectations, like what I thought was going to happen, like what gameplay was going to be like, and the different narration and pieces and parts, but it just was on a whole other level. Like Oxygen Box, you said the visuals are impressive. Absolutely. There's almost like on the holodeck, you're watching this movie in the background kind of thing, and there's different transition screens. There's different all your bounties, your enemies, and things. I think some of the weapons you had made, even, correct, Will? Like you made a few of those assets in there.
Yep.
So really good stuff. There's different locations on your ship, different worlds, different sectors, different enemies. I mean, there's a lot there. And like Oxygen Box said, when you're testing this, you're trying to keep an eye out on everything, and you're trying to listen and watch and view. It can be tricky to keep track of some of those bugs, but
for sure.
it's really come along well. I'm not just saying it will, but I am impressed. It's very. I'm excited to get this out of beta and have everybody play. So I'm hoping I don't go down on the leaderboard though.
Well, I think you're gonna have to be deleted because
which is easy enough to do.
Your thing is just broken.
Yeah, which is easy enough to do though, because I've restarted a few times, I think, just to try different factions and different places and different things. And my first playthrough, I may have lost a lot of money and died quite a bit. So I got too many wounds. But yeah, it's really good, and I definitely encourage everybody to reach out if you want to beta test. It's definitely worth your time. So I'm aiming for the
leaderboard.
Nice.
For the leaderboard.
Cool. But
cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna switch gears real quick and talk about my Bean of the Week. I know that was kind of an abrupt change here, but let's see. I was kind of hoping I could come up with a cool segue, but I didn't. So if you don't mind, I'll talk about mine first.
Yeah.
And so for mine it's an app, Android, iPhone, and it's called TeamSnap. And so for those of you who don't know, I've been coaching T-ball lately and trying to keep all the parents up to date on different things, like when picture day is and when they have to work their concession stand time, and if practice is canceled because of the weather or things like that, is a headache, because I have to keep track of these parents and their grandparents, and sometimes so-and-so is dropping them off, or if they're riding with somebody else, those types of things. And this app is fantastic for keeping everybody in the know. Like, the communication part of this is hands down amazing. I can create these different groups. Like, I can create a coaches group, or I can create, my T-ball team 1 or my T-ball team 2, those types of things, reach out individually or what have you, schedule messages, things like that. I know who's going to come to practice and who's not. Like, you can just tap a little checkbox like, yep, we're going to be there. So I know how many kids to expect.
Wow.
It's fantastic. This thing is a lifesaver for me to keep me organized. I can track the kids, and something that's kind of neat too. I didn't take advantage of it last year. I didn't have this app, but they have a health check section, and there's kind of like this self-assessment of COVID-19 symptoms. So like, did you have a fever in the past 24 hours or whatever? Yes or no. And like, that way you can just verify and cover your bases, get the baseball term there. Oxygen box, please laugh at that one. But you can put photos of the team on there, or the games and stuff. Like, parents can take pictures and upload them right into our team photo album. All right, I'll take that. That's good enough for me, Oxygen Box. So really good app. And it's nice too, because not everybody has to pay for it. So like, as a coach, I pay for the premium plan, but as a parent, like if your kiddo was playing on my team, you wouldn't have to pay for that app. You would just download the free one and then connect it to my team, which is on the premium plan. So
okay.
Yeah, really good. It's keeping me organized, keeping me sane. That's the big part. So
neat.
Worth every penny on that one. So did you have a pick this week?
I did. So it also kind of is an app as well. But if everyone follows me on anyone that follows me on Twitter notices all my AI art.
Yeah.
I know I've talked about it, but I don't think I've actually shared it. If I did, well, I'm sharing it again. This is my profile, so you can like it or follow it also if you sign up. But you can just see the different types of weird, cool AI art that I've been creating, and you also can sign up as well for free. You get you get 5 a day,
Okay.
5 credits a day, and to create a simple art piece just takes 1 credit. But you can bump that up if you want more a running time, if you want a video, if you want a larger, a bigger size image. That all will increase in how many credits it'll use.
Okay.
But then also, if you share on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, you have to have at least 50 followers before you can gain any, but which is super easy to do. So I gained probably 50 followers in, I don't know, less than a week.
Oh, wow.
So
Cool. So how does it work exactly? You give it some context to build upon?
Yeah, you just enter in a string of words.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you some examples. So I did anime Shogun scene, 8K resolution,
Oh, nice.
deviant art, Unreal Engine. So I was trying to think those after anime Shogun scene.
Mhm.
Those are like all like key words that it knows that it can like um either, I don't know where it searches or how it does the thing, but
Yeah.
it's just those are some key words that will make it a specific style, I guess.
Okay.
But then like anime is actually a keyword as well, but then a shogun um and scene, those aren't really those are like what I wanted, what I was picturing.
Mhm.
And it came out pretty good. I mean, it looks like ancient Japan.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. You've got the coloring spot on. You've
Mhm.
got like that. Uh, what is it? Is it a Bushido temple type thing, or
You
something?
got
But
me.
it's got that medieval Japanese architecture to it. Pretty cool.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to
But
play with
then
this.
yeah, it's definitely a thing that you play with, and then you figure out what works, and then you go with it.
Yeah.
I tend to like share a lot, so I can get more credits, but
Yeah.
because I enjoy it so much. But but I tend to will also I'll start with like my one I did yesterday or the day before was beautiful angel flying.
Okay.
And it I wish, oh, I think I can share my screen. I just can't share the sound. So
Yeah.
here,
I'm looking at a couple of them here. I want to try and confuse it. I want to kind of be like baseball, car, pizza, and see what comes up.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it will be a few dandies. So this was my favorite one right here. But yeah,
Yeah, it
this was
really.
like I will say those words, and then
Mhm.
I will have it spit out 2 or 3 of those, and then I will evolve them.
Okay.
So you can that's what this little thing is right here. You can evolve it, and um and then you can pick. I usually go back and forth on these. So each evolve, I go either switch to coherent or artistic. And
Okay.
then so that one that you're seeing right here, I think this was the 5th evolution of my original.
Okay. Huh.
Uh so I liked how it turned out. Same with this one. This one was pretty good, but I almost like the first the one before it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's neat. You
or
can
this
kind of.
one is my favorite too.
Yeah, it's neat because you can kind of pick out subtle details and shapes, but then the more you look at it, it's like it's not what you think, and
Yeah.
then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's really neat, really neat. I've seen a lot of what you put on Twitter,
Oh,
but I
here's
didn't
my
I didn't understand the
cute
process.
fuzzy animal.
I saw that too. Yeah, I see a
This
video.
one was amazing. I thought
Huh.
this one turned out amazing. But yeah, here's one of my the Angel of Death videos.
Mhm. Yeah, you get that like the skull look and the darker colors, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
really cool, really cool.
So, yep,
Huh.
that's my thing. And we're way past time.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I get caught off on these things. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Uh
Yeah.
yeah, well thanks everybody for joining us, and anybody in the future. Um Definitely jump in on the Space Marauders beta. I guess the easiest way would just be to reach out to you on Twitter.
Yep.
Okay.
Or leave a comment below on one of the videos, or uh, you can PM me on Twitch.
Okay.
I think that's the only thing you can PM me on, or Twitter once again.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So,
Sounds good. If you have any topics that you'd like us to bring up or discuss or ramble about, feel free to let us know. And I guess we will see you next week.
alrighty.
All right.
Thanks,
Take care,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye.